Welcome back, humor consumers, to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm comedian Tracy DeGraaf.
And I'm Cathrine, co-host Bestie.
Co-host Bestie.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, welcome back to the Pod Lab, Cathrine.
Thank you.
Here we
good
are.
To be here.
Yeah, it's good to be here. It's 2022.
Thankfully.
Yes.
Made it through the past 2 years, 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, they were tough.
I think they were equally tough, really.
I do too.
Mm-hmm.
I think that 2021, for me anyway, it was like more of a surprise that we're still in it.
I think that's why it was tough.
Yeah.
Exactly that reason.
Yeah. And right now it's January. Today is January 2nd, 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last month, most of the people that we know have had COVID.
Yeah.
And family,
yeah,
including you. You had it.
Mm-hmm.
My husband had it.
Yeah.
Our whole church had it. My kids now have it. I just got a text today that, now 3 of my 5 boys have it. And 2 of them live together in the same house, but not in our house because we're the empty nest now.
Yeah.
And then the other one lives in Colorado, so they're in different states, but it's everywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a challenge.
Oh, for sure. Definitely a challenge with, it's hard to be quarantined.
Yeah.
That's one challenge. And then depending on how sick you are, that of course is a challenge and very difficult for family members.
Yeah.
You know.
And I will say this, thankfully, for my kids anyway, their cases have been mild, and I'm grateful for that because it's very scary for moms to have your children have any kind of a ailment. Issue. And then if they're grown and they live far away, that's even tougher.
Yeah.
Because you're not sure if they're really telling you what they're supposed to be telling you, and they're boys, and are they doing what they're supposed to be doing?
And then when they don't answer the phone,
hello,
then you're really nervous, because Patrick, also my son, Patrick,
that's right. He had it too.
He did, and he was feeling pretty lousy.
Yeah.
But, just a couple days. But it didn't last long. But nonetheless, there were a couple times I called and he didn't answer. And I was freaking out, like, I can't breathe.
I know. Wellness check, call the police.
Yeah.
Well, so today, this is episode number 53 of the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. And we are going to talk about setting goals for 2022.
Yep. Crushing them.
Crushing your goals. Smashing your goals for 2022. We do have an episode on the benefits of goal setting. That's episode number 29, if anybody wants to go back and listen to that. But today we just felt like it was worth repeating some of this information. I don't think you can hear it too much.
Yeah, because everybody struggles with goals. Well, I think most people struggle with goals. So
I Googled it the other day. It's under 5% of people in general that set goals. And of the people that set goals, a real small portion of them actually achieve them. So we want to be in that small percentage of people that set goals and achieve them. So don't give up.
Yeah.
That's number one. You can't quit.
Right.
Because if you give up and you say, forget it, I'm not going to do it anyway, then you're never going to achieve it.
Well, and perhaps you don't want it bad enough.
That could be.
Because if you
not
just let it go, then you don't want it bad enough.
Right. All right. So we have some takeaways from today's episode, and hopefully this is what our audience is going to get out of listening to us talk today. The first takeaway is we're, of course, going to cover SMART goals. Okay. A lot of people have heard that term, SMART goals. We're going to talk about that. The second thing we're going to talk about is SWOT. Doing a SWOT analysis, not SWAT like the guys are coming, to take you away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to like that show, SWAT.
I don't know that I ever saw it.
It was like a series on TV.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Anyway, they were all in like those navy blue uniforms, and they were all tough guys. Nice. Anyway, back to the script. Okay, so SMART goals and then SWOT. And then the final thing we're going to talk about is accountability.
That's a huge one.
I think it's the whole key
to
achievement is accountability. So Cathrine and I, of course, we hold ourselves accountable to each other in a lot of different ways. We've talked about it before on the podcast in terms of our gratitude list that we share every day. That's an accountability. And we work out together, and we have a trainer that we work with. So that's accountability. So we're going to talk about that. All right. Well, let's begin with this Oh, wait, we have to talk about our sponsors.
Oh, that's right. Oh,
I can't believe I forgot.
Yeah, me too,
Cathrine,
actually.
who are the sponsors of the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast?
Muffin and Pooh.
And who are they?
Ron and Kenny. And Ron is Muffin. Kenny is Pooh.
I know. It's so funny.
Please don't gag. It's just
too late.
Yeah, just something that we came up with years ago. Not together. We didn't, not the four of us.
Our lives are so intermingled that it is almost like it's the four of us. Well, our husbands, Ron and Kenny, a.k.a. Muffin and Pooh, they are the sponsors of this podcast because they support it. That's right.
They have JOBs.
Right. And we do too, but we just don't get paid for the podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, let's talk about those SMART goals. What say you, Cathrine? What you got over there?
Well, I got mine off of Dave Ramsey's. Actually, it was an email, and because it's the beginning of the year of 2022, they've sent this out to everybody that's on their email list. So. They're saying the 5 essential guidelines for your goals. The first one is be specific, which is part of the SMART goal outline as well.
Right.
So when they say be specific, it's like literally narrowing it down. If you want to lose weight, well, how much weight do you want to lose?
Right.
You know, and that's one of the keys to success.
Yeah. And, you know, Dave Ramsey, in case somebody's listening and they don't know who Dave Ramsey is, he's a financial guru, I would call him. Like in the world of finance, he's kind of like the go-to guy for how to get out of debt and stay out of debt.
Yeah.
I love him. I love Dave Ramsey.
Yeah.
And he does a radio program you can tune in. And you can also go to his website and listen to a bunch of stuff. And he's on YouTube.
Yeah. He's a big deal.
Yeah.
He's got a whole building now, you know, for his, yeah, and he helps a lot of people. So, and he knows firsthand because he himself, when he was younger,
went through it.
Yeah,
which I think is very important to we learn from our mistakes, don't we, Cathrine? All right, so
Hopefully.
the first one is be specific. What's number 2?
Make the goals measurable. And did you do that for this coming year?
Okay, so I have not for this year. I have not revised my goals yet.
Okay.
Back in 2019, I was very specific about my goals, and I had them all written out.
Yeah.
And then for, you know, what happened with
Yeah,
2020, it just all went, ugh.
Yeah.
So I need to do that.
Yeah.
So I will. I'm making that commitment to you. Hold me accountable.
I'll hold you accountable.
I want to have my goals done and written, I'd say within a week. So by the next time, let's see, this is Sunday. Today is Sunday. So by next Sunday.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I burped. I was trying to keep it in.
Yeah, well, I doubt it picked up, but
well, who cares?
Anyway.
Everybody burps.
Yes, that's true.
Okay. Jinx.
All right. So making the goals measurable, just take it in bite-sized, you know, pieces or chunks, and then that way it's more attainable.
Yeah, and you know, a thing that I've noticed just being a human and being around a long time is when you make small changes for a long term, small changes over a long period of time are really effective changes.
I think so too, because then it's a habit and a discipline.
Yeah.
When it's long term.
Yeah, like one of the things that I wanted to change many years ago was quit drinking diet drinks.
Bad.
Oh, very bad. And Cathrine was very conscientious and still is about the badness of diet drinks, the chemicals that are in there. And she just encouraged me to quit drinking Diet Coke. That was my go-to, was Diet Coke. I would say maybe addicted to it because I was drinking a lot of it.
You know, that made me think about one thing that I quit that I used to love, and Kenny too, is creamer, coffee creamer, as opposed to half and half.
Oh, with all the added stuff in it.
Oh, yeah. Not good for you at all.
So, okay, well, let's just talk about that for just 1 second. Let's say that somebody wants to have a goal like that for 2022. All right, so maybe they want to get rid of chemicals in their diet as much as possible. Okay, and maybe they drink diet sodas, and maybe they drink creamer in their coffee and it has all those chemicals in it. One way that I did it, this is only one way, is I replaced the Diet Coke with another drink that wasn't water. I replaced it with unsweetened iced tea.
Yeah.
Which I know if you're from the South and you're listening to us from the Southern United States, unsweetened tea is probably illegal. Like they don't believe in it.
Yeah.
But it helped me because I used to run through McDonald's and I would get a Diet Coke, large Diet Coke, and it was like $1 or something like that.
Yeah.
And all I did was I still had the habit of running through McDonald's, but instead of getting the Diet Coke, I would just get the unsweetened tea until eventually I didn't do it at all. And I don't like unsweetened tea really, but it helped. I was still going to McDonald's. I was still getting the drive-through.
Yeah.
I had the ice in the cup.
And those were bite-sized chunks of, that was your approach.
Yeah.
Little by little.
Yeah. And so I would just encourage somebody to make a small change over a long period of time. And with the creamer, how did you give that up? Did you go cold turkey or
No,
what?
definitely not. So I would use the half and half, but then I was using real sugar, just less of it. So that was the way that I took that approach because that's better than all of the additives that are in the creamer.
Okay, so the creamer, they have some really good ones that taste good in the moment, but a lot of them have an aftertaste.
Yeah, now that I'm not drinking it,
Yeah.
I definitely can taste that aftertaste. But, when I was drinking it all the time, didn't really notice that aftertaste.
Yeah, so there's some encouragement for you, some small things. All right, what's the next one?
Okay. Give your goals a time limit. Make sure that you set a time limit, that you have a finish line.
Yeah, a deadline. Your deadline.
Yeah, exactly. And the next one?
Wait, before we go on,
Yeah.
I want to say this about a deadline. When you create a goal and you create a deadline, it doesn't have to be set in stone. You can change it. So if you don't reach the goal by the deadline, you can just revise it.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to go ahead and set a goal, even if you don't achieve it. So what? You just extend the deadline.
Don't be too hard on yourself.
Right.
I have a deadline for myself. I
For
want
what?
to lose 20 pounds by May 20th.
Wow. That's very specific.
Yeah.
What's May 20th?
It's just by then I want, it's before summer.
Oh, okay.
So,
you mean that you should be able to attain that?
Yes.
Easily. Well,
I don't know about easily.
Oh,
But
gosh.
it is
Okay.
attainable.
yeah.
If I lose 1 pound a week.
By then. Oh, gosh. Now I'm going to have to do that too because you can't lose 20 pounds without me.
Girl, I'm losing it.
All right. Me too.
So
Write it down.
I did. Well, I wrote for me. Yeah.
Okay.
By May 20th, which is right after my birthday because I thought I'm going to give myself a little bit of leeway.
Yeah. And this year I have to get serious because, my son is getting married next year. And they have a 2-year engagement, which I thought 2 years, I have 2 years to lose weight. And then the year went by. Now we've only got one left.
You could do it.
Okay.
You've done it and you're going to do it again.
I know. That's the discouraging part about weight is if you've lost it and gained it back, it's very tempting to just go, forget it. I'll just keep it where I am and save myself the hassle of losing it and gaining it again.
Well, we have a scripture for that.
Yes, we do.
About being strong.
Yes.
Keeping at it.
All right. If anybody listening is wanting to and needing to lose 20 pounds by May 20th, 2022,
Join us.
Please join us. Send us a message.
And I was just thinking, talk about accountability.
I know.
I put it out there.
I know.
Now our fans, which we do
Right.
have some that are local and
Right,
know us,
right,
they're going
right.
to be like, are you sure?
Put that cookie down.
Why are you wearing black every day?
Oh, okay. So this is what I was thinking before we started recording. And remember I said I got something, I want to share it.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Podcast. Okay. Cathrine and I both work with a trainer. So we go to the same gym and we hired a gal from our church who is a professional personal trainer. She trains us. And what she does is she meets with the both of us once a week and she gives us exercises to do that are real exercises like squats and lunges.
Yeah.
And makes us
Stuff with the
sore.
weights and
Kettlebells. Yeah.
And she
Yes.
writes our weight down.
She writes our weight down. And this gal is as sweet as could be. She's
Oh,
like
yeah.
the sweetest person.
Yeah.
but she does write our weight down. I think it would be hilarious if in the gym by the scale, if they had an announcer, and stepping on the scale is Cathrine at 5 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at.
Buzz, stop. Don't you go any further, Tracy DeGraaf.
Can you imagine how hilarious that would be?
I don't think it'd be funny.
No, probably not. The gym would be closed.
Lindy would have 2 black eyes.
Yeah.
No. So would you.
I know. And it's so funny because it's just a number, on a scale.
It's not just a number.
I know it's not, but it is. It is, but it isn't.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move on.
All right. All right. The 5th and final step is put them in writing.
Yeah.
So that's part of accountability, which we're going to talk about.
Wait, did you skip step number 4? Goals need to be yours. Because
you
talked about the time limit,
right.
and that's when we get off on the tangent.
Yeah.
So go back with 4.
The goals need to be yours.
Well, okay. What does that mean?
That means if it's somebody else's goal, you're not really
invested.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when it's your own that you really desire, and you're going to be focused on that. You're going to be centered on that.
Yeah.
So that's what that means.
Awesome. And then the 5th one?
Put them in writing.
So important.
Yeah. And it says that seeing your goals in black and white will help you hold yourself accountable and track your progress along the way.
Yeah, and they have a link here on the Dave Ramsey article, which, by the way, we're going to put it in the show notes. And you can, if you're listening to us on any platform that provides you podcasts, of course, you can go to the show notes there. And you can also receive our show notes by email by going to my website, tracydegraaf.com, and sign up for my weekly emails, because that's what you'll get is the show notes. So the link will be there. And Dave Ramsey's put together a beautiful tracker. It's a goal tracker worksheet. And you can fill this out, and it might just help you get on track.
I'm going to click on that at home and print it out.
Yeah. And he gives you different categories of your life where you could set goals like spiritual, financial, social, physical, intellectual, career, and family. All right. Excellent. SMART goals.
Yep.
All right.
They are smart.
They are smart. And you know what? It's important. It's important to keep going forward.
Oh, yeah.
And not backward. And I feel like these last 2 years have been a standstill and even pushing backward in many different respects. But we have to use the fuel of the challenge and the struggle that we've all been through as a world, not just one region of the country or one area of the world, but the whole world has been in this pandemic. And now it's time to look at 2022 and use that as fuel to be more purposeful and mindful.
Yeah, kind of take the bull by the horns type thing.
That's right.
Hold on. Hold on.
Okay, I want to share the next takeaway is the SWOT analysis.
Yes.
And in case you're not familiar with it, it's something that's done, it's been around since I think the 80s, maybe even earlier than that. But it's done oftentimes in the business setting, okay, or church setting, or like if you're in an organization.
Okay.
And that's when I was first became aware of it, was when I was an entrepreneur. And I had a mentor who was in the corporate world, and he went through this with me.
Okay.
So,
was that Alex?
No, it was, gosh, his name just escaped me now. The guy that used to deliver the coffee news for me.
Oh, Rob?
No, his name just escaped me, but
it starts with an R.
It'll come back to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, he was a very successful businessman who was retired, and I was a coffee news franchisee, which is a little publication that's delivered around to local coffee shops. So he was delivering my coffee news. He loved the publication. And Tom McDonald.
Tom McDonald.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the other guy.
No.
Anyway, yeah.
No. So Tom shared this with me. So
Okay.
what he did was he would sit down with me and go over my business in this regard in terms of SWOT. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And you can do this with a business or with your own personal life, or as a family, what are the strengths of our family? What are the weaknesses of our family? What are opportunities of our family? What are the threats? Okay. And I just did this with you for the ministry of what I'm doing with comedy. I had you answer those questions. And then I also had my husband do it. And the two of them said very similar things, which was very affirming to me.
Yeah, and we didn't do them at the same time.
No.
So I didn't know what Ron said.
No.
He didn't know what I said.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting to me to get your feedback because you both identified similar strengths. You, funny to me, you had a hard time saying weaknesses. I'm like, are you scared? It's okay. You can say it.
Well, you know me.
I know.
Yeah.
But Ron, oddly enough, had an easy time of it. So he just put him right out there. So it can really help you to be affirmed in, you know what, this is an area that I need to work on. I should set some goals around this area. Or this is a real opportunity. And that's one of the things I think with 2022, I think we really do have to look at it like, what opportunities do I have now as a result of what I've been through over the last few years? Some people have switched careers. So what's the opportunity for that? Or they're home, working from home rather than going into an office. What opportunities do present themselves to them for that?
Yeah.
So SWOT, you can Google it. I'll put a link to a SWOT analysis in the show notes because I know they're out there.
Yeah.
But I think it can really help with helping you to decide what is it that you do want. What do you want your goals to be?
I think I might do that tonight. After dinner.
I think it would be good.
Okay,
so now the important thing is that you ask somebody else to say what it is. So you would ask Kenny, your husband. I would do it for you if you'd like. Or you could even ask somebody who doesn't know you as close or as, in your inner circle, maybe somebody that knows you well enough, but I don't know.
I don't know if that would be beneficial.
Well, you have to have somebody in your life who knows enough about you to be honest to say what it is.
And to really know strengths and weaknesses.
Right. But if I tell you your weaknesses...
What? Are you afraid I'm going to punch you?
Well, you wouldn't tell me mine, so I might have to be like, okay, you don't have any either. Okay, so let's go to our third step, our third accountability thing. I think that's the whole banana when it comes to goal setting.
Yeah.
You can write down till your pencil's cramping up in your fingers. You can write your goals down. But if you don't keep them in front of you and hold yourself accountable or have somebody else holding you accountable, it's never going to happen.
That's so true. Do you know how many times I've written down my goals in like a book that I thought it's a nice little book that is specifically for my goals and dreams. And I thought I'd carry it around in my purse. Well, I didn't do that. I got tired of having it. And then I've had them in a basket next to me where I usually sit in the front room. And because I'm not pulling it out and looking at it, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Definitely is an obstacle.
Yeah. So, the encouragement that we want to leave you with today on the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast is to get a buddy, get an accountability buddy who's going to help you stick to it. So a best friend or a casual acquaintance or somebody at work or your spouse or even a child, just somebody who...
Yeah, they'll bug you.
Oh, yeah, right. And find a way to keep your goals in front of you. If you tape them up on the inside of the cabinet in the kitchen or to your bathroom mirror or whatever it is, and take it in small chunks, So like your goal, and now my goal too, I got to make it my own, of losing 20 pounds by May 20th. And then you can chart make a graph. And you can chart, like I'm picturing the fat body on that game Operation.
Oh gosh, yes.
That would be a funny chart to take the drawing of the operation guy.
Yeah, getting skinny.
Yeah. and just, divide it into 20 increments and fill in with a crayon or marker every time you lose a pound. And then if you're behind,
Yeah.
literally behind.
For sure. I think, putting it public, like say you put that drawing on your refrigerator where your whole family can see it, or whomever, your guests, whatever.
Yeah.
Or like we're saying right now on the podcast.
I know.
But
it's easy right here because there's nobody here. It's just me and you.
I know, but I'm conscientious of that this is going to drop in 2 days, 3 days.
Right.
And then it's out there.
Yeah. Well, again, if you want to lose 20 pounds or need to lose 20 pounds, and who doesn't? The average weight gain, I think, for over COVID is over 20 pounds.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
If you want to lose your COVID weight or just, 20 pounds, you're going to drop at least 1, maybe 2 sizes in your pants.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's like good enough. I fit in my car. I fit in my pants.
It's reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can be rescued by one firefighter if I'm in a burning building. I don't need backup.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's share the verse.
I love
Second
the verse.
Chronicles. What, you have it there?
Oh, I can pull it up.
Second
Give me a
Chronicles
second.
15:7. Our encouragements, our scripture.
Oh, wait. Hold on 1 second. Pulling it up. Come on now. Okay. 15:7. But as for you, be strong and do not give up, for your work will be rewarded.
You can apply
Amen.
that to everything. If you're a student in school, don't give up. Your work is going to be rewarded. If you're working on your health, don't give up. Your work is going to be rewarded. If you have spiritual goals, if anybody's listening and they've had a struggle with getting into God's word every day, hop on my website and grab my free ebook called Open Your Bible Anyway. And it gives you the steps of how to spend 15 minutes with God every day, reading the Bible.
Yeah.
And, whatever your goal is, he's going to help you get there.
Mm-hmm. Thinking about staying focused and just having that drive and just not giving up makes me think of the movie that the 4 of us just went to see.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Yeah, based Kurt Warner, but I forgot the name of the movie.
It was called American Underdog.
Yep, that's it.
The story of Kurt Warner.
A football player.
Yeah.
For the Rams.
St. Louis. Yeah, for the Rams.
St. Louis Rams. Yeah. True
great
story.
Movie. Great movie.
Yeah. So that was inspiring.
I love movies like that.
Me too.
And Ron and I just watched last night The Ricardos.
Yeah.
And that was another one. Like there were some things on there. I don't want to do any spoiler, messages to people. But there were things that I learned about Lucille Ball that I didn't know. And whether or not they were portrayed exactly, I don't know. But I love to see people just staying with it.
Yeah.
If you just don't quit.
Yeah. I'm sure they had to persevere through a lot of stuff. I'm sure. I mean, and I do know some stuff about, not everything. But
they had 60 million viewers of the Lucille Ball show.
Yeah, and for that time period, that had to be a real lot.
Yeah, but it was also easier then because the pie wasn't divided up like it is now.
That's true.
Because you didn't have VCRs and you didn't have on-demand and streaming services. So at 9 o'clock on whatever day or 8 o'clock or whatever time it comes on, you got to be in front of the TV or you're going to miss it.
Yeah.
Forever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the same time, though, what else did people have to do?
Again. I mean, you don't have those kinds of ratings anymore unless if you're a TikToker doing, 3-second things that are crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well, you've been listening to the Life Happens, Laugh Anyway podcast. I'm still comedian Tracy DeGraaf.
I'm still Cathrine.
We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.